Well, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 7th place in the Central Division after 40 games skated this season. They have an overall record of 30-20-7, 33 points, has them 23 points behind the first-place Winnipeg Jets, who just happen to be the Nashville Predators' next opponent. That game will take place in Winnipeg. The Nashville Predators on the season have a road record of 5-13-4. Yes, that sounds different because it's gone from 3 to 4 to 5 in the last 2 games. The Predators on a 2-game road winning streak now, still abysmal, but no longer the least amount of road wins in the Central Division. 98 goals for on the season, 123 goals against. That's a goal differential of -25. For the Predators, the week ahead, this is the 6th and final game on this road trip, so the Predators actually catch a break after this Tuesday night game until Saturday, when they will be home at Bridgestone Arena, face off against the Washington Capitals. First game of 2025 at Bridgestone Arena. The 14th of January will see the Predators face off against the Vegas Golden Knights at Bridgestone Arena. The 16th sees the Blackhawks come to Nashville. The 18th has the Minnesota Wild here in town. And the 21st of January has the San Jose Sharks in Nashville for the first time this season. Now, the regular season series between the Winnipeg Jets and the Nashville Predators, well, it's net number 3 out of 4. So we've completed 2 already. We take you back to November the 23rd when the Nashville Predators had their early season signature win. It was a 4-1 win over the Winnipeg Jets. I know the Jets were coming in on the second night of back-to-backs, but an advantageous scheduling situation led to the Predators having one of their only really good wins of the first part of the season. Saros went 23 out of 24, picked up the victory. Yossi had 2 goals in that game. Stamkos and Marchessault chipped in with goals. Comrie, 32 at 35, took the loss, and it was Lowry picking up the only goal for the Winnipeg Jets in that game. Then we go to December the 30th, and this was the first night of back-to-backs for the Nashville Predators, but that was not an advantageous scheduling situation for them because they fell 3-0 in Winnipeg on December the 30th. It was Saros, 25 out of 28, giving up 3 goals against, taking the loss. Hellebuck picked up the victory, and I mean, he's done that versus almost everybody this season. Got the shutout with 22 saves. Velarde, 2. DeMello, 1. Those were your goal scorers for the Jets. These two teams will meet up one final time this regular season on February the 27th when Winnipeg makes its second trip of the season to Bridgestone Arena. So the regular season series right now stands at 1-1 with each team taking 2 points, and the score is even at 4 apiece. For the Nashville Predators, a couple of injury updates before we get into the Winnipeg Jets and this game matchup and numbers. Tommy Novak, day-to-day. Adam Wilsby, day-to-day. Jeremy Lauzon, also day-to-day. Cole Smith on injured reserve, still another 3 to 4 weeks before his anticipated return. Now, let's talk about the Winnipeg Jets. The Winnipeg Jets currently find themselves in first place in the Central Division. They've skated in 41 games this season, so they are at the midway point already. 27 wins, 12 losses, 2 overtime losses. That equals out to 56 points. They have a 2-point lead over the Minnesota Wild, and they have a 7-point lead over the Dallas Stars in third place. That happens to also be over the Colorado Avalanche, who are in fourth place, each of those teams with 49 points. And then you'll find St. Louis with 42 in fifth, Utah with 41 points in sixth, the Preds at 33 in seventh, and Chicago 28 points in eighth. So back to the Winnipeg Jets, 56 points, has them tops of the Central Division, 23 points ahead of their next opponent, the Nashville Predators, on home ice. Very good record, 14-4-2, 147 goals for, 104 goals against. That's a goal differential of plus 43. Now, when it comes to the rankings between these two teams, actually, before we get into the rankings for this game, let's talk about the Winnipeg Jets' most recent stretch of 5 completed games. Take us back to December the 28th. There was a 4-2 win versus Ottawa. On the 30th of December, a 3-0 win versus the Nashville Predators. On the 31st, the next night, they followed up with a 5-2 loss at the Colorado Avalanche. On the 2nd of January, a 4-3 overtime loss versus Anaheim. And on the 4th of January, a 4-2 loss versus Detroit. Hellebuck taking the loss, one of his very few on the season. 25 out of 28 was a stat line. Now let's get into the NHL rankings between these two teams for this particular matchup at this moment in time. Goals for, well, the Nashville Predators are doing better, but they're still finding themselves 32nd overall in the NHL, only 2.45 goals per game. 3.59 for Winnipeg is quite a different story. It's third overall in the NHL in the goals against category. 2.54 for the Winnipeg Jets is third best in the NHL. 3.08 for Nashville is 18th in the league. In the shots for category, 29.1 on net per game is 12th best in the league for Nashville. 28.2 for Winnipeg is 18th overall. In the shots against category, 29.2 for the Jets is 23rd. third, while the Predators find themselves giving up 29.7 shots against per game. That's 27th overall in the NHL. Special teams scenarios right here, it is polar opposites, as the penalty kill and the power play are quite opposite for both of these teams. The Preds power play conversion rate, 19.8%, 20th in the league, 22 conversions on 111 opportunities. But the Winnipeg Jets, 31.5% power play conversion rate. First overall in the NHL, 39 conversions, 124 opportunities. Now, the Predators penalty kill unit, though, is easily one of the best in the league. As a matter of fact, they're the third best currently, 84.7% kill rate. They've given up 19 power play goals against the season. They are rated third overall. The Jets penalty kill, 77.6% kill rate, is 22nd. They have given up 24 power play goals against on the season. When it comes to the individual statistics and team leaders for each of these teams, it is pretty damn impressive to see what several of these Winnipeg Jets players are doing so far this season. Connor, 22 goals, 30 assists, 52 total points at the midpoint of the season. Scheifele actually with more goals than Connor with 23 plus 23 assists for 46 points. Morrissey's at 4 goals and 33 assists for 37 points. Velarde's at 18 and 18 for 36. And Ehlers 12 and 21 for 33. Over on the Nashville Predators side of things, Philip Forsberg's 9 goals and 24 assists for 33 total points. That leads the Preds. Marchessault's at 14 and 15 for 29. Stamkos 12 goals, 13 assists, 25 points. O'Reilly 12 and 13 for 25. And the captain Roman Josi 7 goals and 18 assists for 25 total points, falling all the way now to 5th on the team in scoring. Anticipated goaltending matchup, and it is a doozy right here. Hellebuck, 24-6-2, 209 goals against, 926 save percentage with 5 shutouts, easily having one of the best seasons of any goaltender in the NHL. UC Saros, record-wise, not great at 9-16-6, but his goals against average of 2.72, his save percentage of 906, and especially the 4 shutouts. 4 shutouts on 9 victories this season is highly impressive. Saros versus Hellebuck is always a classic matchup when it comes to these two teams. That's got you all set up for the Nashville Predators' final stop of this road trip. Now listen, 2-3 on the road trip. One of the toughest places they're going to have to go is in Winnipeg. If they find a way to win this game in Winnipeg, they go 3-3 on the road trip. They break even as far as points, and they equal the amount of road wins they had for the entirety of the season. Well, that would take place in the last 3 road games of this road trip since they lost the first 3. All right, that's going to do it for the preview section. Let's get to going back and talking about what happened in the last game in Calgary. It's called the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. It's coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey